Guys, this episode of Dandadan was phenomenal. They perfectly introduced Aira's new acrobatic silky ability, but as well, they continued the romance between Momo and Okarun that in any other anime, I think this would be the worst aspect of the episode. But in Dandadan, it's quite literally perfection. So let's dive into the episode and break it down bit by bit. I double dog dare you to get this video to 4,000 likes. It'll probably be impossible to do, but all we need is 74 more people to drop a like than last video. So episode 8 picks up with one of my favorite moments with any Dandadan arc, honestly, the end of arc feasts. Aira and Momo aren't exactly on good terms and they don't agree with each other at all, but Momo realizes that she probably shouldn't have bonked her on the head with the wash basin, and Aira shouldn't hold a grudge either. However, Aira still is under the impression that Momo and Okarun are demons because of what they were able to do in that fight. And by the way, I love how Aira called out Seiko for being way too hot and young. That was funny because hearing that Seiko is like, "Why, Aira? Oh, I do declare, Momo is indeed a demon." Seriously, Seiko in so many ways, she's kind of truly your stereotypical grandmother, but yet looks nothing like it at all. So I think that's probably the best part about her. But all's well that ends well, I guess, because while Aira is still seriously deluded, well, let's be honest here. Actually, she's kind of not. I mean, she's cute to the max. So listen, do you feel that? That's called compassion. Let's just all agree that Aira is best girl and move on, okay? Also, the fact this entire scene is done while they're eating and mumbling through their slurps, that was so great. They even broke the fourth wall too, which I was surprised by. But while being deluded, at least she goes all in on it because Okarun tries to reassure her that when a person is in need of help, he will help, so will Momo. And honestly, that is the Dandadan way. And while she proclaims to save Okarun from Momo's grip, she in turn falls in love with Okarun for, well, his kind, compassionate words. Honestly, this makes a ton of sense. Aira is just a kid, of course. When shown any sort of kindness, obviously Aira would fall for this kid. I mean, who wouldn't? He's also totes adorbs and cute too. But all's well that ends well is what I keep telling you. Okarun gets his ball back after a nice game of baseball with Seiko and Turbo Granny. Turns out, if you lose your nut after a spiritual battle with an old granny with good working hips, a giant crab, and the train scene for Spider-Man 2, then all you have to do is simply have one of those nuts fall on the head of a delusional pink-haired girl with severe mommy issues,
is deluded and stubborn, drop a wash basin on your head, have your girlfriend start a rivalry with her, then have said girlfriend be jumped by her friends in an abandoned warehouse, leading to a fight between the three until a spirit shows up, claiming to be the mother of the deluded girl, fight it, have the pink-haired girl die that has the nut, take the nut from her dead corpse, then the deluded spirit mommy sacrifice her own life, which then reveals a tragic backstory, and your girlfriend.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that use my partner code CTAT to get 10% off your orders of Gamer Subs. I recommend Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Energy, by the way, and I get commission for every time you use the code. Anyways, I think the whole love triangle thing will initially grate on some people, but I reassure everyone, think twice about it before you do. The romance in Dandadan is quite good, and I would say that Aira loving Okarun is more of a feature of the comedy and all that. Trust me, don't fret, it's not a big deal. So, at school, the next day, Okarun tells Momo that he won't be able to hang out with her because of a report he has to do. It does seem a little odd, his behavior, and that weighs down on Momo, who has to go eat with her friends and stuff. So very clearly, Momo is worried about Okarun, which is just so freaking adorable, by the way. I feel like this show knows exactly how to convey the relationship between Momo and Okarun. I think this is mostly down to the chemistry between the two. Okarun is just this shy, nerdy dude, and Momo is this loud, outgoing girl. It's hard not to root for the two of them respectfully because they're just so, they're just so gosh darn cute. However, while she is worried about Okarun, she is walking outside when, well, she sees it. Okarun has pinned down Aira Shiratori, best girl by the way, and seeing this, she drops the Pompey for her friends. And speaking of, I like the fact that it's just this Pompey, you know, these milk cartons. I think that really shows just how young these people are. I mean, they're practically just children. I think there is something funny about such a serious thing going on, being juxtaposed with the freaking milk cartons you get from the cafeteria. It just shows how unserious a lot of this is, but it's played off as like deathly serious. Turns out the context surrounding the situation paints a way different picture than you would suspect. Okarun was actually not doing a report. He lied to Momo. He was actually training so that he could get stronger to protect Momo. Obviously, nobody would believe Okarun to do such a thing as cheat on his wife. So Aira, with non-existent chill and down apocalyptic, tells Okarun she can't hide these feelings anymore. That it's wrong since he's a demon and she's a human. She she is so deluded as she is, she tells Okarun to close his eyes so that she may come in for a smooch. And this was ridiculous, but that's why this was also great, because Ira, not knowing how to convey her feelings, decided that her best bet was to, and I'm not lying here, research her dad's nudie mags and adult films. And the key takeaway she got here from all of that was a crime. If the girl confesses her feelings, then the man surely has no other option than to accept them and kiss her? What? This is what you get when a whole generation of children are raised on Pornhub. I mean, this somehow turns into Ira acting like a deluded old man, saying things like mature lips, because as you know, this is what is important in a teenager's life, mature lips. But this ends up being a fight of sorts, I guess, where Okarun simply just doesn't understand how Ira has become so awkward when all the boys in the school love her, which honestly is a great point. And this argument, honestly, is still really stupid, and I loved it because it's stupid. Okarun somehow believes attractive people can't act this way, while Ira accuses Okarun of not understanding what it takes to be popular, and that romance and popularity are not one and the same. And heck, and heck, she even admits to Okarun that, oh, I'm not awkward, I just don't know some stuff, which Okarun is like, bitch, that's what that means. So Ira still tries to force herself upon Okarun, which eventually leads to what Momo saw. Their legs crossed, they fell, and Okarun sadly fell on top of her. And Ira's reaction to this, oh my god, priceless. I mean, honestly, Ira thinks she's him. Okarun is clearly uncomfortable while Ira puckers up her lips for a kiss. It's just so stupid, and yet I can't turn away. It's too good. And Momo has the absolute best reaction. She calls him a turd. And can I just say as well, I love how Momo calls everyone even remotely interested in Okarun a skank too from the previous episodes. I think she needs to keep doing that because it would be amazing. It's just, oh god. Please continue to bless me with Dandadan. Please, world. I don't ask for much. And honestly, these kids are just so childlike. Momo thinks that the workout equipment on Okarun's wrists is some sort of kinky thing. Like, honestly, you can't make this up. This entire situation is a comedy of errors where Okarun seemingly has done nothing wrong. So the scene ends with a good bit of melodrama where Momo tells Okarun that she's heard enough and she's leaving him, taking the dogs, taking the kid, his truck, and of course his 6-pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Momo, though, returns to her friends with no Pompey, of course. And I love that during the lecture they have about Japanese mantis shrimp, which, by the way, Japanese mantis shrimp are really cool, she relates to it, like the shrimp, and how it wants to clobber things. Of course, this is what Momo wants to do to Okarun, but I found this just so funny due to Momo's friends. They're just so goofy and fun, and they continue to be one of the best comedic relief aspects with Momo scenes. At one point, Momo starts hitting herself. And they think that the mantis possessed her, which actually is kind of funny considering the last couple of arcs. But with Okarun now, he actually mans up. He takes responsibility, realizing that he's sowed the seeds himself. And this is such a breath of fresh air because traditionally in anime that has this kind of setup, they would act oblivious or awkward and, well, sort of like not like real people. Dandadan, though, takes a different approach, relying more on, say, like this scene, for example, Okarun just owning up to his lie. That is probably most likely what people would do in this situation. Take accountability. Also, is Okarun working out in the middle of class? Dude is really trying to protect Momo. He is, as my friend keeps trying to tell me, hopeless. However, something crazy happens. They slip into some sort of alternate reality or something. Even weirder is that only Okarun, Ira, and Momo are the ones who were teleported. And to make matters worse, there is water that is rising. And there Momo sees it. That goddamn Loch Ness monster!
Well, it was about that time that I noticed this Girl Scout was about 8 stories tall and was a crustacean from the Platazoa era.
The Loch Ness monster.
I said, damn it, monster! Get off my lawn! I ain't giving you no tree fitty!
This moment was insane as it quite literally comes out of nowhere, and it's done so well in terms of production. I think for that reason alone, can we do it? Yeah, this is a Wincy and Swaru moment for sure. Nessie quite literally destroys everything with a gigantic beam of water energy from its mouth, destroying multiple classrooms. Seriously, when I first read this in the manga, I thought, this was pretty cool. This was a pretty awesome moment, but I didn't quite expect Wincy and Swaru to go this far in terms of animating it. Hell, even the CGI looked really good too. Ira, though, she is in disbelief and even thinks this is Momo and Okarun tried to fuck on her or something. But Okarun explains to her that not only do aliens exist, but that they had to defeat the alien to get out of this strange world. Talk about a Blink-182 reference, right? And speaking of a strange world, this guy right here shows up and begins to quote, "And I'm sorry, I am really, really sick, as you can tell. Chiquitita? Chiquitita?" Honestly, I've never known how to pronounce this song, but it's a song by ABBA for some godforsaken reason. An ABBA song is being referenced here. I mean, I'm an ABBA fan too, not the biggest one. They're fantastic pop music, but this was kind of crazy that they referenced ABBA. And honestly, I couldn't help but chuckle at it. Also, this guy, holy crap, he looks so cool. He's like a kappa that boxes or wrestles with tights and a tie. I actually think this is one of my, honestly, favorite Dark Horse designs in all of Dandadan in general. And I've read 170 something chapters. I'm caught up to the manga. So the ABBA alien punches Okarun and Ira. So Okarun goes into hot guy mode and saves Ira. I don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that Ira is probably the equivalent of a waterfall after that. And honestly, yeah, that's sort of what happens. Okarun tells her to go away in that cool hot guy voice, which makes Ira all sorts of something, most notably confused that she is supposed to be kissed first and then called Ira-chan by him, not the other way around. Seriously, you guys, this episode of Dandadan has been 90% stupid people doing stupid shit, and I love it. Mamma mia, here I go again. With the power of Christian pop music, ABBA alien quite literally destroys Okarun in his hot guy form and is surrounded by Serpoians? Seeing this, Ira decides to fight fire with fire and break out her cross, which doesn't work as it's, I don't think Christianity cancels each other out. I wish it did, but it doesn't. But this doesn't work as she and Sid flying backwards. Turns out that the reason they're in the void of sorts is because it is an alien creation and an apparatus, as they describe it. And what's kind of crazier is that the apparatus only allows those with high spirit energy to enter. And this is interesting. So how in the world do aliens now have spirit tech? If aliens can both control alien tech and now spirit tech, then that must mean one of these two things. One, or well, probably more than two things, but one, spirituality is not linked to just humans. Maybe any living thing can have it. Two, they've learned to harness spirit energy from somewhere. Remember, Seiko said that there were others like her, so could they be working with another hot granny? I mean, who knows? And because Okarun is endowed with a good set of banana organs, much to, Seiko's dismay, who said that he had like pathetic looking junk. Weird scene. The Serpo have come for them once more. However, this time it seems they want the technology and science that has allowed Okarun to harness the power of Turbo Granny. So, like the Lion King, Okarun is lifted into the air, stripped of his clothes, and they get ready to do the snip, snip, snip to his banana organ. And I gotta say, all the ladies out there, you can go today. But in a major twist, Okarun is saved by none other than Miss Ira Shiratori, now with an insane new ability to seemingly use her hair as a weapon, and as well her legs as if she were Black Leg Sanji. Needless to say, but I think a lot of people saw this one coming. Just like how Okarun got his powers from Turbo Granny, it would only make sense if Ira were able to get her powers from Acrobatic Silky as well. And how we know this is because she can control her hair like Silky and as well has her agility. Also, holy crap, I love the voice of Ira in her Silky form too. It's very reminiscent of the original voice, but also combined with, obviously, Ayane Sakura's. I love it. One of the best aspects of Dandadan is that, just like Demon Slayer, it just gets to the point. There is no lollygagging, no awkward teenage moments that just serve to slow the episodes down to a crawl. No, we saw a lot of stuff in this episode. Not only did we progress the relationship for Momo and Okarun and add a little bit of a drama to it, but we got to the reveal of Ira's new powers, which so far seem likely to be acrobatic Silky's powers. And in my opinion, this is what New Gen Shonen needs to be more like overall. Less wasting time, more to the point, quick episodes. I also think Dandadan is unique in the sense that since it takes a lot of inspiration from other shonen, like heavily borrowing aspects from One Piece, a lot of this show so far feels so unique